Warning, this video is just my opinion. And if you disagree, that's okay. In fact, if you've said this phrase around me as my friend or as my client, don't worry about it. I wasn't judging you, but I am going to tell you what I really think about it. And maybe you'll never say this phrase again. You ready? Your book is not your baby. I know it's a common thing to say. Oh, my book is my baby. I'm releasing my baby this week. You know what? I feel like that is one of the most unwise words that you can use to describe your book. It's not only not smart, it's dangerous. Can I tell you why? Got a few reasons here. Number one, your book does not actually have a soul or a spirit. Now, I know you knew that. I know you knew that. However, to call your book a baby actually diminishes a real human baby. And so I think anything we do that diminishes life by the casual use of words truly matters. So, number one, I just think don't ever confuse the two. And it's going to have an effect on your future as an author. Here's another reason why it's important not to call your book your baby because it can't develop and grow. It will not develop and grow. That doesn't mean it won't multiply. Your book can multiply. It can multiply the number of copies printed, the number of copies sold. It can multiply your finances as you continue to receive royalties. However, it's still not growing or developing. And when we call our book our baby, subconsciously, we're believing that it's something that it's not. Why does that matter? Because your book, it's limited. And if you keep referring to it as a baby, you will almost not write more. You need to think of it as something that it's stuck the way it is. If you don't write more, people can't get more of you. Now, a baby actually grows into a young person, a young adult, a child, and then a young adult, and then an adult, and then an old person. It grows and develops. Your book is going to stay the same. And if you keep thinking of it and thinking of it as your baby, you'll start wondering if, well, you won't wonder. Whoops, put my phone on silent next time. You will, you'll stop growing yourself. If you think your book's growing, you'll stop growing as an author. How do I know? That may seem like a bold statement. It's just that I've seen it so many times. I've worked with a lot of authors. You start obsessing about your book, like wanting it to be successful. On my encouragement is just write another one. Doesn't negate the first one, but you're the one that's supposed to be growing and developing. Another reason you don't want to call your book your baby is because it won't take care of you when you are old or sit by your bedside when you're ill. Now, you knew that too. But the thing is, if you depend on your book, you'll be sorely disappointed because your book cannot provide for you. You are the one that is partnering with your book, using your book as a tool. And all of this is deep psychology, but our words create our reality. And if you're already checked out thinking like, this is like too much, what? I'm just saying, be careful. Because I have seen this happen again and again. That somebody starts depending on their book and instead of being the one who is in authority, but you're the author, so you need to be in authority. Also, a book is not part of you, and a real baby is somehow part of you, biologically part of you, psychologically part of you. There's just a connection, a spiritual connection, even if that baby is not biologically yours. There is a supernatural thing when you have a baby, and that's not going on between you and your book. It's too much. It's too much. The next one, the main reason is because your book is going to be rejected. I mean, I'm just going to tell you right now, your book is going to be rejected. I I have seen my books at times in garage sales, on store shelves, in half price books. That happens because people recirculate books. I consider that a really good thing, that my books don't go straight to the trash. People don't throw away books. Your book will not go straight to the trash. It gets recirculated for more people to enjoy. And I love a good book that I find at half price books. Hopefully you do too. It doesn't lose any value. A book never loses any value when it's recirculated. But you will think that you will take it too personally if you're calling your book your baby, because you'll wonder, what in the world, people are rejecting my baby. It's going to hurt like it would if they were rejecting your own child, and this is just way too much emotional connection to your book. You got to think of it objectively. You created it and you can change it. And when it's rejected, it's only because it wasn't right for that particular reader at that particular time. And you don't have to take it personally because your book is not a person. That truly is something that if I can just coach you for a minute, it's just, you think it's a small word, but it's not. It has big implications. So I'm not even done yet. I'm just saying it could be dangerous to call your book your baby. Your book is also going to be misunderstood. Listen, some of the people that you think are going to read your book, some of those family members or those friends or those former associates and acquaintances, you're like, I can't wait for them to read my book. They actually won't read it. They won't. Some of the people that you most intend for them to read it, they won't read it at all. And that's okay. You're going to learn how to just let your book fall into the hands that it's meant for. And it's usually not meant for the people who are closest around you. It's meant for a broader audience. Let it be for a broader audience. Let go of the misunderstandings that are taking place for a person not to read your book. They, the people who love you, they love you because of who you are, not because of this one thing that you created. So if you think it's your baby, then you will feel like all of those people that chose not to read your book were actually misunderstanding something so significant to you. It was a work of art. That's all. People misunderstand works of art all the time. The museum is full of works of art that people are misunderstanding from the artist's original intent. It's okay because artists are prolific. They don't paint one painting. They paint over and over and over and over again. They have a whole studio filled with attempts, some that are halfway works in progress and others that are completed but never shown to anyone. That's the way of the artist. And so a if a artist, a visual artist, calls their work their baby, they'll just stop creating because you can't have that many children. You have to psychologically think of it as something different. So then another reason you can't call your book your baby safely is because your book actually needs to be released. It needs to be released in two different ways. Number one, it needs to be released on release day. So you can't just keep writing this manuscript forever. You get to release it to the world on release day. Like actually publish it. And then also it needs to be released because you just put it out there and stop worrying about what people think. If you start obsessing over who gave me this review, who gave me that level of stars, you will drive yourself absolutely bonkers. You don't want to do this. You want to sleep well at night, knowing that you've lost enough sleep wanting to write a book and never doing it. That is enough of a thorn in your side that you have this dream and haven't done it. Then once you actually have done it and you've completed the book and it's published, now you're going to lose sleep over whether people are liking it or not, whether it's good, what they think. It needs to be released. And the thing is, with a child, you never release them because maybe you let them leave the house at a certain age, but you never release them as being part of the family and part of your heart. So if you want to be able to release your book and let it go, then you got to stop calling your book your baby. And then lastly, you need to understand that your book will operate independently of you. Your book needs to be able to sell itself. And what I mean by operating independently from you, it's going to sell itself to people all the time based on the elements that you've put into it, the cover, the title, the subtitle, the back cover copy, the table of contents, and the first paragraph or two. All of that is so important. Your book will sell itself while you're asleep. Your book is operating independently. A baby is not independent. A baby requires you to feed it constantly. It requires you to feed it constantly, like clothe it constantly. It's that you have to help it. It can't walk on its own. You trust me. You need a book that will operate independently. You want it to move forward on its own because you've released it. It doesn't mean that you don't market it or sell it. It just means that it's communicating without your help. Imagine if I have a book and the only way that the reader is actually going to understand it is if I'm sitting there to explain it to them. Or if I have like a QR code at the end of every chapter that says to let me explain this chapter to you, go to my YouTube channel and I'll explain this book chapter by chapter. No, your book has to operate independently of you. Each chapter has to explain itself. It has to do the job of communicating with the reader. So, what can you call your book instead of saying, my book is my baby? Well, I tell my clients, this is what you need to say. My book is my writing project. Aha, that's all. Sounds kind of basic, right? My writing project. That's what you need to call it. The basic words are what's going to calm down your nervous system so that you can actually finish writing your book. The fact that you're calling it a baby is making it so big in your mind that that's why you're having pressure to finish it. You can't finish it or you can't sell it. Listen, you got to pare it down, make it basic so that your nervous system can calm down and be like, this is everybody has projects. This is my writing project. So when I talk to clients, I'm like, how's your writing project coming along? It's just a casual way of saying, this is what we do. This is who we are. We're authors. We don't overthink it. We don't magnify it into some like a, oppressive experience to write a book that we're so glad that it's actually over, that we wrote it, that we're never going to try writing again. You don't be like that. Just have a writing project because then you can have another writing project and another writing project and another one. So I want to encourage you to join the skill set. If this video has been encouraging to you, if it's given you a few new thoughts that you're thinking, oh, wow, okay, I haven't thought of it like that before. Even if it is just something you're willing to try, like just using basic terminology to calm yourself down, that's a simple thing you can do that somebody who's a book coach will advise you to do so that you can get freedom and relief and relaxation and write your book. This skill set is available. You just go to the link in the description. It's free to anyone. It's my weekly advice as a book coach, and it will really encourage you and help you move forward with your writing project. Lastly, what does God say about all this? Well, I believe the answer is in Matthew 12 to 36. Jesus says in Matthew 12:36, you will give an answer for every idle word that you have spoken. You'll give an answer for it. So when we call our book our baby, you're going to give an answer for the consequences that happen in your heart and mind when you do that. Another verse that pertains here is Proverbs 18:21. The power of life and death is in the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Again, that speaks of consequences, consequences of words. We have to give attention to what we're saying. What we're saying actually has power in our minds and in our hearts, and it creates the reality that we live. So we need to be careful about it. So here's the last word: watch your words because you'll see them again. See you next time.